Hey guys, my name is Vanshaj and welcome back to Comicversity. So in the previous video we did a teaser trailer reaction for the Superman 2025 film. Now while there were several things that did have me excited and happy, there were a few things here and there that didn't excite me as much. So let's go ahead and do the complete trailer breakdown for Superman 2025. Let's go. Okay, right in the opening shot of the trailer, I got the vibe that there might be a reference of the Fortress of Solitude somewhere in the movie. And it turns out that we weren't wrong. There will be a Fortress of Solitude later in the movie as well. Man, the way Soups crashed into the snow onto the earth was diabolical. But what was even more diabolical from the creators over here is that the way Superman landed, why did you have to put him in the iconic Yamcha pose? That Yamcha pose has a cult following of its own. It has been repeated several times in other forms of media and stories. To start this trailer with that pose, well, that takes guts. Okay, I absolutely love the way how David Corenswet is playing this Clark Kent. Looks Clark Kent. He looks innocent, he looks anxious, he looks all over the place, he looks clumsy, and he looks like a good person, dedicated person just trying to make it in the world, right? And that is how the real Clark Kent is supposed to be like. Henry Cavill's Clark Kent, he was good, but I didn't really appreciate the way he was portraying Clark Kent because I couldn't see much of a difference in between both the characters, right? But this Clark Kent, it takes me back to the times of Christopher Reeve because the way he also pulled off both the characters, you could see a proper differentiation. And the same way I feel about this new Clark Kent of David Corenswet, where I look at him, I can never have a doubt in my mind that this guy might be Superman. But if I look at Henry Cavill's Superman, well, okay, I get in some super vibes from this guy over here. Now, when I see the legendary Superman lying in the ground, battered this way, the very first question that I get in my mind is, who the hell is so strong to batter him into the ground like that? It does seem that he is vulnerable. There are people that can give him competition for his heavenly strength, right? And again, that really makes it all very interesting. He's battered, he looks so defeated here. Not the way you want to look at Superman. Now you see this frame. Tell me that you haven't seen somewhat of a similar frame in one of the comic books. Basically, this is a language that now DC is speaking, a trajectory that they've taken where all the movies that now they're trying to create, they are trying to make it so much comic book-like that it really appeals to the fans. It was first noticed in the amazing shots and framing of the Batman Robert Pattinson movie. The shots and the framing were so amazing, so beautiful, so lovely, and so packed with action in every frame. Somewhat similar I'm getting the vibes from this Superman movie as well, because each frame can be put directly into a comic, and it seems that everything over here has been picked up directly from the comic book as well. And that really speaks volumes about the heart and dedication and the love that the director and the producers and the entire team have given to this movie. Okay, so here we get a very good look at Lois Lane, played over here by Rachel Brosnahan. I like this Lois Lane. Of course, Rachel Brosnahan, really popular, especially with her super hit series Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Now this might be an unpopular opinion, but I love Amy Adams. She has done some really fabulous work, but I didn't enjoy her as Lois Lane in the Snyderverse Superman movies. It just didn't seem Lois Lane to me for some reason. This one, in terms of a teaser, in terms of a trailer, she's looking a good choice for the part of Lois Lane. I can see Lois and Clark over here. The way this Clark Kent is turning, it seems that they have mastered the mannerisms of Clark Kent. You cannot look at this person and say that this guy can be Superman. You just cannot. This is one of the places where I didn't enjoy this trailer or didn't enjoy the acting of David Corenswet over here. In this scene specifically, there seems to be such a lack of emotion and expression. From what I'm able to understand, it seems that unlike the previous movies where Clark Kent's father dies, over here it seems that it is Martha Kent who has died. And this seems to be a bonding sort of a moment for the father and son. So I can understand that there is gloom, there is sadness, there is despair, there is grief, but you can show those things with expressions. Over here, it just seems too blank for me.
Crypto.
Is it the Flash? Is it the Flash? No, it's Crypto the Superdog. This is the first appearance of Crypto in a live action movie. Crypto has been a part of the animated shows and movies, however. One of the most recent ones being the Super Pets animated movie. It's a good watch, definitely a fun watch, and I'm really hyped up for it. This is the best frame of this entire teaser. Had they not picked a Superman poster already, I would have asked them to take this as a Superman poster. Even though they don't know me and would not really consider my opinion. But I can at least put it forward, right? In the back of this frame, you see the foot, I believe, of the kaiju that we'll be seeing later on in the teaser as well. So this is the first look that we get of Lex Luthor. He's looking outside the window, and outside the window we see something flying by. It might be Superman, it might be one of his fighter jets or fighter planes and whatnot, but that is what it seems like. Now here, it is not yet Lex Corp. It is still Luthor Corp, which was the company that was made by Lex Luthor's father. So Lex Luthor is still young. He still hasn't, kind of made a name for himself or gained that power and position in the company and in the world yet. But of course, he's on the way to do it. And when he does, it becomes Lex Corp later on. Okay, now, if I were to just give you this frame, would you say that this is Lex Luthor? Or would you say that this is Hitman Agent 47? For me, when I saw this, it definitely looked like Agent 47 to me. If the movie's not being made, I would definitely tell them to go ahead and make it and maybe just cast this guy as your lead actor over there. We also see a ring over here in Luthor's hand. Now in the comics, we have seen Luthor having a piece of kryptonite over here in his ring. If that is actually the case over here yet, or will it become later on, we don't know. But it does seem to be a good Easter egg. In this place where Superman is captured, he seems to be captured with other people as well. Now these people might be meta-humans, we don't know yet, but that's what it looks like. Over here in both the sides, you can see that the person in the background, he's the same. He is definitely emitting quite a bit of light over here. And if Superman was captured in this glass cage, then of course it must be that strong. And the light that this person is emitting, it might be the rays of the sun, which gave Superman his strength, and because of which now he's able to break through that glass cage. One another thing that I absolutely loved about this Superman is that the hair flick is back. The iconic Superman hair flick is back, which was missing in Henry Cavill's Superman. Even if you look at the Superman uniform, it seems quite battered and burnt. Now, is it after the fight with the kaiju that he's over here and amongst the angry mob, or is it a different sort of a fight? We don't know yet. Now here we get a look at the Stag Industries, owned by Simon Stagg. For those of you who might remember, Simon Stagg was an important character in Batman Arkham Knight game, right? Simon Stagg is over there working with Scarecrow in order to disperse the cloud burst, and he of course dies over there as well. The Stag Industries are considered a big rival to the Wayne Enterprises, and in the same place where Superman is standing, this is where we see the entry of Guy Gardner, Green Lantern, and Hawkgirl as well. The Green Lantern over here with his ring, with the power of his ring, tries to create a barrier between themselves and the angry mob. Could be because he wants to create a confined space where he can have a conversation with Superman. Okay, and here we get a good look at the kaiju that Superman is fighting with. Now this is also something that seemed a little out of place to me. Because the recent DC movies, they have been focused so much on making everything so realistic that you don't really consider things like monsters and dragons and kaijus to be a part of the same universe. However, historically speaking and with relevance to the comic books that these stories are picked up from, monsters and kaijus are actually quite a relevant thing over there. So it's good that again they are showing that they are true to the comics and true to the source material. I love this frame. The question is, why is Superman getting super romantic over here when there is a super villain over there in the back emitting some super light beams? So that's the question over here. It also matches the frame of the very first image of Superman that we got from James Gunn, where we see a similar sort of a lighting in the background as well, and Superman is seen wearing his shoes. Now, maybe he was wearing his shoes when Lois Lane came in, or maybe he's wearing his shoes after he met Lois Lane. I would say he shouldn't have the time to be able to do that, because there's a monster in the back. Superman, get your priorities straight. And here we get a good look at Superman's robot pal called Kelex. Now Kelex has been shown in the comic books previously. He is from Krypton as well. He was a part of the spaceship in which Kal-El was sent to Earth, and he primarily takes care of the entire Fortress of Solitude. Okay, now this guy. My very first thought was, why is there grayscale in this movie? If you look at it even closer, you see the blue eyes. And then you feel that, okay, is it the White Walkers? Is it a mix of grayscale and White Walkers? A White Walker with a grayscale, or maybe a grayscale who is becoming a White Walker? You don't know. But if you look at it even closer, you see the shoulders. The shoulders are differently colored, which tells me that this might be Metamorpho, being portrayed over here by the actor who also played Victor Zsasz in the Gotham series. So I am somewhat excited for this character. So right in the beginning, when it was a question, right, that who is powerful enough to batter Superman, right? There are really a handful of characters only. And here we are seeing Superman fighting possibly Ultraman. Now Ultraman is basically a Superman of a parallel Earth where the Justice League aren't good characters, but they are quite negative and evildoers. How he has been brought into this current Earth is something that we need to know and understand later on. And even in the scene, you are seeing Superman kind of struggling in being able to handle Ultraman over here. So we get a look at the terrific Mr. Terrific. This seems to be some sort of a war zone place called Boravia, which was being shown in the news as well. Now these henchmen, these guys seem more of Lex Luthor's men, because you see the primary colors that are being depicted over here are purple and green. Now purple and green are also the colors that are there in the armor of Lex Luthor in the animated series and comic books that we have seen. Might be possible that Lex Luthor maybe comes in later on with his armor that is dipped in the similar colors. It might not be, but this is definitely a good callback to that suit. Okay guys, so that was my breakdown for the teaser trailer of Superman 2025. There will definitely be a couple more of these trailers in the coming months because July is just 7 months away. I hope you enjoyed this breakdown. If you feel that I might have missed something, or if you feel you have your own different sort of a breakdown about the various scenes and sequences, do let me know in the comments. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed this breakdown of the Superman teaser trailer. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Vanshaj and this is Comicversity, where you become the scholars of everything awesome.